How we can play out of the cliché, because nowadays almost everything I hear in flamenco or even other musics, guitar, most of it is just a cliché, and a cliché is boring. One time the cliché was not boring, right? One time it was a real thing. But then it became a cliché, and then it became like something lacking value. I personally was inspired to start playing because of great musicians like Paco de Lucia or John McLaughlin, people that were out of the cliché, and that's what made me so much interested into this guitar playing, because I would like to be out of cliché also. So just have in mind that the cliché once was an original thing and a novelty, right? And then it became a cliché, and then until everybody does this cliché thing. So falsettas cliché, rhythm and strummings clichés. Just cliché harmonic patterns, which are a cliché, for me are very boring. I want to have the unexpected there. Right? That's for me, the emotion of music is when I don't know what will come after. Next passage, I don't know what the player will do. If I know what they will do, what's the fun of it? I ask you, you go to a movie, right? And the movie is about a blonde girl that goes in a red car, and then they go in a race of car race, and then she wins. And then I go to another movie, which is a brunette girl that goes into a blue car, and then they go to a car race, and then she wins. And then if you go to another movie, so it's all the same. I mean, if you know how the movie will end, what's the fun of it, right? That's the catchy thing of thrillers, for those who like thriller movies, because you are in suspense, you don't know what will happen, but after a while, if the artistic or the script writer is not very creative, right, or it doesn't have much imagination, he or she will fall into a cliché thing that you already anticipated what will happen, and then fun is gone, man. Unless you like clichés or you are brainwashed to like it. Like nowadays I see many people playing guitar in love of, or so-called in love of cliché. But it's just that this is snobism. This is not group of people with flamenco that likes the clichés, or they train themselves to like the cliché because they cannot do anything else beyond the cliché. That's not what I want from music. And from my lessons also, I respect and created this program of CFG, study program, in a way that it will be out of the cliché, because it helps people. That's one thing. It helps many people, and it's useful to you, right, to improve your playing. That's the pro. I said it many times, my success is to make you play better. So this is my philosophy statement, and I live with it. So this is out of the cliché, because I have not have a cheap ulterior motive, but my motivation and the reason why I do these things is to make it grow. This that's happening about with music, out of the cliché. Lessons out of the cliché. Right? In everything. That's why I like, for example, this sound portal thing, because it's out of the cliché also. Right? Some people are like, wow, what's that guitar? It's out of the cliché. I want things that will surprise me, that will engage me, not something boring that I will know. I know already what will happen after. If I know what will happen after, there is no fun for me. So, if someone thinks there is fun from knowing everything what will happen, well, let them do it. They are free to do it. But I invite you to think about this cliché thing, and also which kind of student you want to be. How is your approach to the guitar? Is it a cliché approach? Or it is an enlightened? We want to be enlightened. We want to be enlightened and feel fully music and experience music. Then, for sure, mandatory, we need to go out of the cliché. If we don't go out of the cliché, nothing will happen. Nothing internally, nothing will happen. Believe me, I know it by many years of experience, these things, and I'm sharing here with you for your benefit. And I think most of you will agree with me that the cliché kills the emotion of the unexpected. And this unexpected thing that really surprises you because you didn't know it will happen. Right? If you know it will happen, then if you know every move the other player will do, then what's the fun of that? That's no fun. Right? Then you should become better classic player, and then you know what will. And even there, if you are a great classic player, you don't know how it will be interpreted in the next part of the piece. But if you become just a shallow repetitor of notes and of clichés, concepts, clichés. Just think about this. Concept. Oh, I cannot play with Irish, with feeling, with Irish, because I am German or I am Danish. That's why Kenny Warner says one of these examples, right? Concepts. I am not a gypsy. How I can play? Many things are there, which may be of a cliché that someone puts you in the mind that, and then so many people who didn't have enough imagination agreed with it, make their own schools based on that, make even a business out of it, and then now you are believing all these things that's how it's supposed to be. Or this sound is flamenco, this sound is not flamenco. Who says that? You have to build your own opinion about it, to have your own criteria, right? That's about the personal development. Of course, in the beginning, we learn things from great masters, and then we discover our voice through them. Right? I said this many times that I'm not trying to copy Paco de Lucia's playing, or my intention is not to be a photocopy of what he does, but to understand his creative process so that my creative process may be enhanced by his works, or work through a solid foundation, which is the Paco de Lucia's style and technique. Right? This is something that is good, and we should all discover our own voice through these great masters. That's how in paintings it is. So here there is the house of Picasso in Malaga. He was from here, and you can see that in his paintings, with very few lines, he got a deep, spectacular result. Why Picasso is great? Because he was out of the cliché. he was not a cliché thing. And now, maybe Cubism school, it became a cliché. But he was the pioneer of this movement, right? And then that's how art, in fact, any art which is really want to be called art, it's out of the cliché. It's not a cliché, a shallow cliché, but a real thing. So how much of an out of the cliché student you are? How much of an out of a cliché player or teacher we are? We need to know these things, because if we never question that, then we will maybe go on doing the cliché and being a cliché ourselves in our approach to music and to guitar and to our either we are amateur or professional. This is not that, well, you know, I am an amateur player, why this should matter to me, right? Someone could say. But this is for everyone, because when you will play guitar, you are playing. You are supposed to be playing you. So this matters a lot. And that's how I evolve to what I evolve, because I like these people who is not a cliché. I love these players that are beyond the cliché, the shallow cliché realm, and enter into the realm of art, creation, originality. And of course, this originality is based on something. Picasso wasn't starting Cubism just out of the blue. He started painting his own style after going through everything that was traditional first. Rembrandt, this, and all the old painters, Velázquez, this and that. He has to learn all the traditional things in order to become what he is now, right? And when you can go beyond the cliché, you will experience so bigger happiness that this chance is there for you. Some people do not even know they can be out of the cliché. And that's why we love these artists that weren't afraid of being who they are. They were not afraid or waiting for the others' approval. Let me see, if the others like, I will do it. Then I can sell my product. That's shallow. That's another cliché also. This is a commercial cliché. So art is art, and originality requires that you learn from based on other teachers. We said this in the series earlier. And we have to be based on something, right? Just like Pythagoras was based on other mathematicians. In any aspect of life, you will see that someone learned some art from another great artist, and then he developed himself a line based on something, right? So this going out of the cliché, I leave you as homework, that you analyze yourselves inner, just a view into your hearts, and if you agree with it, I invite you to be beyond the cliché.